Hi guys, it's Melissa from Vibe Yoga. I wanted to do a video today breaking down the Vinyasa flow. When you take a Vinyasa class, you might do tens or even 20 or 30 Vinyasas throughout the course of the class. And I find myself constantly cueing modifications and encouraging students to skip them altogether if they are feeling like they've had too many. So today I want to go through some of the different variations and the proper way to do a Vinyasa flow, which I'm referring to as lowering down through Chaturanga, inhaling, pushing up to up dog, and then exhaling, pushing back to down dog. So to start, I'm going to show you what I would do for a normal Vinyasa. And usually you start with inhaling the arms up overhead, exhaling forward fold, inhaling to lift up halfway. From here, planting those hands right next to the feet. So one thing is to make sure the hands are right in line with the feet. And as you exhale, stepping back and lowering down into your Chaturanga, inhaling into your up dog, and exhaling, leading with those hips, pushing down into down dog. So that is what I'm referring to as your Vinyasa flow. So I want to just start by breaking it down. And I'll start with a modified. You might often hear you can lower knees, chin, chest. So we'll go through that one first and kind of point out some important parts of that flow. So if you want to do a modified Vinyasa, and typically the first Vinyasa of the class, this is the way I'll walk through it until we get warmed up. We'll inhale, arms up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. This is another area where I see a lot of students halfway lift by curling through their back and lifting the hands up. What we're trying to do is engage those hamstrings so we're getting a nice straight line from our tailbone to the top of our head. That is telling these muscles that I'm going to need you and not leaving the lower back to do the heavy lifting. So as you inhale the halfway lift, I'm going to bend my knees and bring my hands down to the mat. First point is that the hands are actually coming in line with the toes. They're not coming out in front here. So you're actually trying to bring those hands back here, and that helps you keep your shoulders forward. When your arms are out here, your shoulders are a little bit further back, and that puts a lot more pressure on the top of these arms. So as you exhale here, we'll step the feet back and come into that plank. So really engaging that core. When you do the modified Vinyasa, you're going to let the knees drop down. But what I'm doing is I'm still keeping a long line all the way from my knees through the top of my head. And then as I exhale and lower down, my elbows are coming in close to the body. I'm coming forward here. And I'm trying to have my body all land at the same time. So that's why you might hear knees, chin, chest. It's because you want that chin and the chest to land at the same time. As you inhale, you can come up to your baby Cobra here. So there's differences between Cobra and up dog. In Cobra, my pelvis is actually pushing down into the mat. So the angle of my pelvis is actually downward, and I'm engaging that lower back to bring my shoulders off the mat. My head is an extension of my spine, so I'm not cranking my head back. And my weight is not in my hands, so I can almost lift these hands up in this Cobra. So inhale to Cobra. And as you exhale, now I'm pushing into those hands. I'm engaging my core to lift the belly up through my hands and knees, curling those toes, and pushing back into my down dog. Just a couple pointers in down dog. You really want to get that head back between the hands and really think about the creases of your elbows rotating up towards the ceiling. So your hands are straight, but that crease is externally rotating. That's going to make you stronger through your upper back and trying to get that long line from your head to your tailbone, bending your knees as much as you need to. And usually on the bottom of our exhale, so after we've let out all that air and our belly and chest is empty, is when we bring the feet back to the front of the mat. Inhale through that flat back, exhale, forward fold, and then inhale, arms up, exhale, hands to heart. All right, so that's the modified version. For the full vinyasa, starting the same way, inhaling those arms up, exhale, diving forward. Inhale to that flat back. My hands again are coming right next to those toes. And then I'm going to step back into that plank. Many of the cues are the same. When you come to lower through Chaturanga, I'm going to come up on my toes, and that's going to bring my upper body forward. And as I lower down, I'm really focused on keeping the elbows in close to the body. So I'm trying to get to this 90-degree angle with the arms. As I inhale, I flip over to my toes, coming into that up dog. This time, my hips are off the ground, my thighs are off the ground. I'm open through the chest. And my pelvis now is angled upward since it's up off the ground. As I exhale, I'm drawing that belly in and using that to bring the abs back so that my hips lead the way into my down dog. Breathing here, and then on the bottom with an exhale, I will bring the feet forward. Forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, up through standing. Exhale, hands to heart. So whenever you're in a practice and they're cueing vinyasa, you should really listen to your own body and take whatever variation you need to take in that moment. The other thing to do is if you really don't feel like doing any more vinyasas, you can just step right back into down dog. So if I were cueing a full vinyasa and you were stepping into down dog, you would get an extra breath in down dog. And this is how that one would look. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to flat back. Plant the palms and take an optional vinyasa. You would push right back to down dog. Exhale, lower down through Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, everyone else will be meeting you in down dog. And I really do encourage people to do that, especially if you're not used to doing a lot of vinyasas. So I'm going to go through the modified one and the full vinyasa again. And one of the things I really want to stress is getting that body out in front and trying to get to this 90-degree angle here. If your hands are up here, then you're putting a lot of pressure upwards on those shoulders, and very quickly people tend to injure their shoulders or burn out their shoulders, and then they really shy away from vinyasa classes altogether. So getting that ab strength and that upper body strength to be able to keep those hands back and close to the body is critical to protecting your shoulders for the long run. So let's go through the modified one again. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Hands come next to the feet. Exhale, we'll step back. Get that plank position first. Lower to the knees. Stay long through that body. And as you exhale, come forward. Elbows stay in tight against the body. Lowering down. Inhale, Cobra. Lifting with that lower back. No weight in the hands. Exhale, leading with that abs through tabletop, down dog. Let's come right into our full vinyasa. So I'll inhale forward to that plank. So again, my wrists are actually a little bit behind my shoulders. So instead of them being right underneath, they're actually behind. I'm going to bring my body forward, coming up on those toes, and exhale, coming down to that 90 degrees. Inhale, up dog, thighs off the ground. And exhale, hips lead the way up and back. Down dog. On the bottom of that exhale, I can bring the feet to the front of the mat. Inhale through flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up through standing. And exhale, hands to heart. All right. I'm going to go through the option to jump forward and back, because I think a lot of times you'll see people doing that in class as well. You really want to make sure it takes ab strength and flexibility. What you're trying to do is really get those knees up and in, and then have them land. Some people are really amazing how much core strength they have, that they can have those feet land so softly on their way up and back. I think I'm going to start with the jump forward, because that one tends to be the one you can do first, and you're less likely to hurt yourself doing that. So let's say we've gone through our vinyasa, we're back in our down dog. you really want to think about the breath. So they'll say at the bottom of an exhale, so that means really there's 4 parts to the breath. The inhale, and that retention when your body's full of air. The exhale, and then there's that place where your body has no air in it. That's the when you want to jump forward. So I'm looking forward between my hands. I'm letting those elbows rotate up slightly again, the crease in the elbows. That's getting me nice and strong through my upper back. So there's this motion here, almost like I'm coming into a handstand where my arms and my upper back are incredibly strong. And I'm thinking about bringing my knees up and in. So you can even practice jumping and bringing those knees up. Finding that spot between the hands, bottom of your exhale, and bringing the feet up and in, forward. Inhaling through that flat back, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, hands to heart. So that one, feel free to try if you want to hop in halfway, just getting that motion of bringing those knees, driving those knees in, and then bringing them forward. It's fun to play with. I think if you practice regularly, that's something that you should be able to try and have fun with pretty early in your practice. You just want to make sure you've done a few vinyasas and your hamstrings are nice and loose before you try that for the first time. So usually I don't do that until my 4th or 5th vinyasa in a class. When you're jumping back, it's really critical that you have that nice hand alignment that's back next to your feet. And when you land, you do not want to have your arms locked out. So if anyone says jump back into a plank, I always make sure that I have that bend in my elbows so that I have the absorption in the arms and I'm not locking out those joints and putting all of that pressure on the joints. So we're going to inhale our arms up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale to that flat back, plant the palms, so my hands, I say plant the palms, but my palms aren't making it down to the mat. But I do want to make sure I can get my fingers down enough that when I jump back, I'm not going to jam my fingers underneath the hands. So I'm bending my knees and my hands are coming to the ground. And then I am going to, so inhale, halfway lift. As I exhale, I'm bringing my legs back and landing with my elbows bent in close to the body. Then lowering down through the rest of my chaturanga. Inhaling up dog, exhale down dog. All right, so as I'm going through class and cueing chaturanga or flow through your vinyasa, make sure that you know how to do the modified one. Make sure that you're doing chaturangas properly with your elbows back close to the body, getting to that 90 degrees. And always, always, always feel free to skip it and push right back into your down dog. You don't want to burn out your shoulders. You don't want to injure your shoulders, or you will be off the mat for a week and questioning whether vinyasa was the right choice of practice for you. So listen to your body. One last thing, if you have a strap, I'm going to show you a trick that really helps you feel what it's like to be in proper formation when you're in your chaturanga. So go ahead, if you don't have a strap, just you can watch, and if you have a strap later, try this. This is something I learned in my yoga teacher training. So you want to get the strap about 1.5 foot circle here. Basically what I'm going to do is put it around my arms right above the elbows, trying to keep my arms in so that they can stay tight to the body. So the strap is helping me get that proper distance. And then I'm going to bring it up on my arms. So I think I'm going to just give myself a little bit more space to allow my body to rest in the strap. So we'll get that strap lined up right above those elbows. All right, so my arms are straight down, my elbows are in close to the body. And then when I come forward into my chaturanga, so I'm going to have my hands planted here, shoulder distance apart. I'm coming forward with my body, and as I lower down, I can rest my body in the strap. So what this is doing is taking a lot of weight off my arms right now, and it's allowing me to get that sensation of keeping the shoulders in close to the body and try to get that 90 degrees here. So It's definitely a lot easier than doing a full Chaturanga, but it's really allows you to get that sensation of where your alignment should be. So hopefully these tips are going to help you to have stronger vinyasas throughout your practice, and remind you that there's always modifications to take. Listen to your own body. How it feels today might be very different than how it felt yesterday. So respect that. Don't give in to peer pressure, and make sure you're keeping your body safe and aligned so that you don't have any injuries. All right, take care.